So, Josiah, American Ninja Warrior, congratulations. Tell me everything about what was going through your mind when that you were going through the obstacles and you made it through. Tell me, I want to hear all about it.
Yeah, first off, thank you for having me.
Yes.
But yeah, no, A&W is such a fun experience. Like a lot of people don't realize that like it is fun on the course and we get to have fun and show our skills and do what we've trained for so long. But behind the scenes, just hanging out with everybody who's there, talking strategy with all the other ninjas, because it's almost like a family, right? Like all of the ninjas want what's best for each other. So just that support is such a good atmosphere to be in.
Nice. And what initially made you decide to do the show?
So I was on season 2 of American Ninja Warrior Junior. And so I've been doing Ninja for over 10 years now. So Ninja's always been part of my life. And then doing the kids show and kind of the realization that I had to wait for so long to do the adult show, um, made me want to prepare for it. And then they lowered the age group or the age limit to 15 back in season 13. And I immediately just jumped right on that. I was like, I want to do this. Like, this is going to be so fun.
Nice. And when you did American Ninja Warrior Junior, tell me a little bit about how you initially got involved with that.
So when I was a lot younger, like I did not want to do any sort of TV thing. I was very shy. And so this first season came around and all of my friends were applying and all the people from my gym. And I was like, no, I don't want to be on TV. Um, and then they came back from that summer and were like, it was such an amazing time. Like, you got to do it. And so the next year came around. I was like, I don't know. But then somebody from the first season had recommended me. They were like, oh, this kid's like really good. Um, give him a call. So they sent me an email or called me or whatever, got chatting, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. And so it kind of evolved from there.
Nice. And what would you say was the biggest challenge about doing American Ninja Warrior across the board?
I think a lot of people would assume it's like a very physical thing, but I think the mental aspect, just being able to relax and focus on what you're doing and not let all the cameras and the lights and the audience get in your head.
Nice. And what do you do to prepare yourself mentally?
Um, so there's a lot of different ways. I know a lot of people do it. For me, I kind of put in headphones, just focus, and then that kind of gets me in the headspace to not even pay attention to what's going on around me and just focus on the obstacles. And a lot of it comes down to training too. When we're training in our environment, we usually like play crowd noises and like make it as close to the show as possible so that when we get in that atmosphere, it's something that we're already used to.
And other than the obstacles, what goes into training? I'm a personal trainer myself, so I've always been really curious about the kind of training that goes into stuff like this.
Yeah, so we have gyms all over the country that we train at where we build specific obstacles from the show. And some people are designing new obstacles and kind of just training. Obviously, we have to train just push ups, pull ups, general strength things, but as well as technique. I mean, sometimes you have to take sometimes you have to take a hook like this and get it into a ring that just barely fits into. So it's a lot of technique that goes into it. And so being able to build and train those specific obstacles and obstacles that are similar to ones that we've seen on the show, that really helps.
And what about diet? I would imagine that since you're burning so many calories and using up so much energy, do you have to follow a specific diet or anything like that?
Yeah, so I know every ninja is different. Some of them are like super strict about the diet, some aren't. A lot of the teens aren't necessarily as strict. I'm fortunate enough that my mother is actually a dietitian, so she's helped me a lot with that. But I don't keep my diet too strict, but at the same time, like I know that keeping a healthy diet is good. So I'm not eating too much junk food, but it's not like I'm eating salads every day.
Very nice. And what is next for you in terms of American Ninja Warrior? I mean, we saw this last episode. We're so excited, so proud of you. So what's next?
I mean, obviously we have the semifinals coming up, but just in general, like for me, I'm just trying to push myself, get as strong as I can, be in a position where I can be the best. Obviously, that's what all of us want. And there can only be one person that is the best at ninja. And so I'm trying to get myself to that level or as close to that level as I can be. So just putting in the time, putting in the work and furthering my skill.
And who are some people that have been on the show that inspire you?
So my coach for many years, Najee Richardson, the Phoenix, he was one of the biggest inspirations to me. He kind of guided me through the whole show process and training and stuff. And so he's been instrumental in my success. Um, he was one of the very first people to really push me hard and push me to the limit of what I can do.
Nice. And what's the best piece of advice that you got from a ninja, whether it was in terms of competing or life advice? What was the best thing that they've taught you?
I think the best advice that I've heard from any ninja and just ninja in general is have fun. Like at the end of the day, it's a TV show. It's not going to be the end of the world if you don't win. So enjoy the memories, enjoy the moments, and have fun while you're doing it.
And speaking of memories, so far, what's been your favorite memory of being involved with American Ninja Warrior?
I think my favorite memory that comes to mind is last season, season 14. Five of us got all the way to stage 4, and in the hotel before we climbed the tower, we all got together and just sat down and talked about kind of what we were going to do if we won and kind of how we were going to approach that. And it was just this very surreal moment of like the five of us getting to bond over doing this thing that almost nobody gets to do.
Nice. And other than American Ninja Warrior, what's next for you?
So right now, this is kind of along the same lines, but right now I'm coaching at a gym in my town. So I'm kind of taking a mentor role and trying to get these kids up to the level that I am at this age. I'm also building cars, so kind of furthering my skills. I run a business, building custom trophies for competitions, that kind of stuff. And so kind of just trying to figure out how I can apply myself in the best way and most profitable way possible.
That's incredible. I love watching cars being built. Do you watch that new show on NBC2, the Hot Wheels show, where they build all the cars and stuff?
I saw a commercial for it. I haven't actually seen it yet, but it looks really good.
Highly recommended. And that was gonna be my next question. Since we are a TV site too, what are you watching these days?
What?
What are you watching on TV these days?
Oh, what have I been? I watch a lot of movies. I feel like when I have time, like I'll just sit down and watch a movie and not get too into a show. That way I can kind of do it whenever. But TV shows I've been into and like following. Breaking Bad was a good one that I just watched. That was a good series. Suits. And then I'm also into like F1 racing as well, if that counts.
That
So
does, yeah. Very nice. And if you could, speaking of sports, so if you could do any other sport other than the American Ninja Warrior stuff, what kind of sport would you want to try and why?
that's tough. Like I'm not too interested in like traditional sports. I think like all the like really niche sports. So like if you count racing as a sport, I would definitely choose some form of motor racing. But if not, like I think a sport like curling or something that just like is interesting that you never see or hear people doing.
I love watching curling. That's one of my favorite things on the Olympics to watch. It's just
Yeah.
like so cute, so cool, and so fun.
Yeah.
And one of those like asking people I interview is tell me a fun fact about yourself that might surprise your fans.
Hmm. I feel like I've been doing the show for so long that there's like nothing that's surprising. But I guess I recently started to try and learn guitar, if
Really?
that counts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I picked up piano a few years ago and just kind of taught myself using YouTube, and so now I've been learning guitar.
What kind of guitar are you learning how to play?
I just have honestly, I don't even have one. It's my brother's electric guitar, but I've just been using that.
That's fun. Do you what kind of music do you like to play?
I literally just picked this up like a week ago, so now it's just like
Okay.
really learning the basics. But
Very nice. And I can't believe you learned piano on YouTube. That's impressive. I'm really impressed with
thank you.
that. It's amazing
Yeah,
what you
no, it
do.
was actually my cousin who like pushed me into it. She was like, "You should at least try," and so we tried to like play on a few things, and I was like, "All right, I'll like keep at this."
Wonderful. And I know you said you got the piece of advice about having fun while on an American Ninja Warrior. Other than that, what other kind of advice would you give to the kids you're mentoring or anyone that might want to try the show?
I think kind of along those same lines is don't let yourself be upset over a failure. Failure isn't the end, it's an opportunity to grow and an opportunity to learn. So even if you fail, even if you come up short on an obstacle or in life or whatever, always look at it as an opportunity to get back up and try again and learn from it. Never let that hold you back.
Nice. And going back to the obstacles, which one would you say is your favorite that you've done? I mean,
Anything with like a free bar, so like salmon ladder, flying bar, anything where you're taking a bar with you and moving it around.
nice. That's amazing. And one thing I've always been curious about too, the ones in the water, how much water is in there? Is it like a regular pool or?
So the pools are and like so in qualifying and semifinals, I think they're about 4 feet deep, so like a normal pool. And then the ones in Vegas, I think get up to 20 feet deep when you're falling from the really high obstacles.
Oh, wow. I was always just curious about that because it looks like it's a lot of water, but I'm like, it's probably only like you said, the 4 feet deep, but that's
Yeah,
amazing.
it just depends on like how high the obstacles are that like they need it to be deeper for safety.
Interesting. I like that. I like that. And what would you like to say to your fans before I let you go?
Um, Tune in to NBC on Monday nights.
Yay! And we're all so proud of you here at TV Grapevine. I'm
Thank
incredibly
you.
proud of you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
time
you
with me
so much for
today.
having me.
Of course, you're always welcome to come back and chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You as well.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.